Fire, earth, air, water, ether. Many Hindus believe these five great elements, or the Pancha Mahabhutas, are the building blocks of the cosmos. All beings, be they humans or microbes, are made of these five elements, and any elemental imbalance disrupts the well being of our existence. These elements are also personified as gods and goddesses, just a few out of millions associated with Hinduism.
Hinduism is not a single religion. It is an amalgamation of belief systems, theistic and non-theistic. It harbors a highly diverse pantheon, untethered from organized religion. Perhaps Hinduism can best be described as a collection of religions to the Western observer. After all, Hinduism was initially a term embraced by foreign invaders to classify many non-Abrahamic cultures and traditions indigenous to the Indian subcontinent. Hindus today, however, prefer to call their tradition Sanatana Dharma, meaning the eternal Dharma. The word Dharma has many meanings and is incapable of direct translation, but a few definitions are cosmic order, balance, justice, truth, or most commonly, way of life. In short, Sanatana Dharma means the eternal way of life. To each Hindu is their own spiritual journey. No two Hindus are obligated to share the exact same beliefs and practices. They are not required to worship the same gods, indulge in the same prayers, take on the same lifestyle, or believe in personal gods at all. Then what makes a Hindu a Hindu? Diverse Hindu devotees draw their philosophies from shared central texts, the Vedas, Upanishads, and the Puranas. Popular religious epics such as the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and its derivative, Bhagavad Gita, have had profound impacts on the spiritual and cultural values of Hindus. Innumerable works of spiritual teachers, or gurus, such as Adi Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya, have expounded on Hindu philosophy and laid out guidelines for human beings to live in harmony with nature and each other. Most important among many Hindus is the belief in the universal soul called Brahman, the ultimate reality that exists indiscriminately in all things. Brahman, meaning that which expands or grows, permeates throughout the universe and is simultaneously beyond it. It is the glue that holds a plurality of things together in a state of oneness, or Advaitam. Brahman is the final cause, the origin of all things, and the destination to which all things return. Brahman is present in human beings in the form of Atman, or the individual soul. Hindus believe the human body is a temple for the Atman, which is identical to Brahman, but only individualized. Without the presence of Atman, the body is incomplete. The final goal of the Hindu is to merge their Atman with Brahman, or rather, to realize that state of unity and oneness. The Atman should become one with Brahman, the way a droplet of water merges with the vast ocean. Hindus are also bound by the concepts of divine immanence and divine transcendence. Immanence is the belief that the divine encompasses or is manifest in the material world. Transcendence is the belief that the divine is beyond the world and outside of humanity's perception. The interplay of these concepts in Hinduism makes it possible for the formless, transcendent Brahman to periodically take on a physical form to restore cosmic order, whether that form be an elephant-headed harbinger of wisdom, commanding an army of gods against evil forces, or an enchantress granting ambrosia to the demigods, a man who made himself half woman to nourish the universe, or an infant suckling the life out of a venomous demoness, a saint lighting earthen lamps with water instead of oil, or a warrior weaving a necklace of skulls from the head she severed on the battlefield. Brahman also takes on the images of celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, galaxies and comets, the entirety of space and time. If even trees, rocks, and stones are infused with Brahman, it is no surprise for Brahman to manifest as carvings and idols. It is this worldview that makes the worship of idols possible in the Hindu tradition.
A Hindu temple is the repository of the idols of Hindu gods and goddesses. These idols, also known as vigrahas, can be made from various types of material, but they are most commonly fashioned out of brass, black granite, and white marble. While freshly sculpted idols mirror the images of the deities, and the idols are still considered lifeless. Just as the human body is incomplete without the Atman, the idols are incomplete without the presence of divine energies pertaining to the deities they represent. In order to properly install the deities into their respective shrines, numerous rituals must be performed by temple priests according to the Agama Shastras, or the sciences of tradition. These texts expand on sophisticated doctrines behind temple constructions, ritual invocation of deities, and the use of sacred utterances, or the mantras. The installation process requires mantras to be chanted from holy scriptures to summon the divine energies. The process is called avahanam, meaning invocation. After summoning these energies, the priests chant from Vedic scriptures to infuse the energies into the idols. For example, the idol representing the mother goddess is given life through the chanting of mantras pertaining to the mother goddess. The priests channel her energy into the idol so that she watches over the community in an idol form. The entirety of this process is called the Vigraha Prana Pratishta, literally meaning the ritual consecration of the idol with the life breath. In the event that the idols or the temple itself are in need of repairs, there are ways of taking the divine energies away from the idols and storing them safely so that they can be transferred back once the repairs are made. During a period known as Balalayam, the instilled life forces are taken out of the idols and temporarily stored in kalishas, or earthen vessels. These vessels are filled with water, which is sanctified by the presence of divine energies. Until the temple and the idols are refurbished, all rituals and offerings are reserved for the energized kalishas. A grand Kumbhabhishekam event eventually completes the process. It is a time during which the holy water from the kalishas is poured over the idols, thus restoring the idol's power. Kumbhabhishekam is recommended by the Agama sciences to take place every 12 years for the upkeep and maintenance of Hindu temples. The elaborate nature of these above procedures indicate the fundamental truth that Hindu temples are not merely just structures or places for prayer. The temple becomes much more than a piece of architecture. It is sanctified by the presence of divine energy that radiates throughout the premises, fostering health, prosperity, and spiritual fulfillment for all who enter the surroundings. The structure becomes an energized, consecrated space, emitting sacred vibrations that nourish the human spirit. Like the human body, which contains vital organs that sustain it, the temple's vital energies promotes its spiritual presence to preserve the community at large and ensure the balance of the cosmos. This energy is not reserved just for people who identify as Hindus, regardless of a religion or even lack of a religion. Any individual who steps into the temple premises steps out as a changed person, their inner self rejuvenated with peace and positivity. Negative energy, mundane anxieties, and elemental imbalance within the body are eliminated in the presence of the smiling deities and their pervasive powers.
The need for Hindu temples became prominent in the United States once the country began to witness a radical wave of immigration from the 1970s to the 1990s. Numerous ethnic groups have been allowed entry with the passage of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. Among these welcomed groups were Indians, and among them several Hindus. A need to accommodate the spiritual needs of the Hindu diaspora inspired the establishment of numerous temples throughout the United States. Heavily populated areas, such as New York and California, were the first to see the establishment of Hindu temples and cultural centers. Over time, even mostly rural areas, such as Mississippi, notwithstanding it being in the heart of the Bible Belt, saw the need for a temple. It was a seemingly impossible task, creating a place of worship that is foreign to the local culture, yet accommodates the different branches of Hinduism and satisfies the spiritual needs of diverse Hindus. Despite the impossibility of including every deity of the Hindu pantheon, popular deities were handpicked to appeal to diverse devotees. With the help of generous donors and ambitious individuals, a small structure was constructed from 1986 to 1989, representing the Hindu Temple Society of Mississippi. This building contained shrines to house various deities and was open to the public following Vigraha Prana Pratishta in 1990. This structure served as the main temple for 20 years. During this time, the Hindu community expanded heavily with the influx of IT and healthcare professionals. Increased globalization, many daunting years of fundraising, and increased donations sponsored a $4 million project, the construction of a traditional Hindu temple. Sculptors and artisans from India worked tirelessly to emulate the motherland's temple architecture. The newly constructed Hindu temple underwent the Kumbhabhishekam rituals twice in its history thus far. The first Kumbhabhishekam took place in July of 2010, when a new temple was opened to the public for the first time. The second Kumbhabhishekam took place in May 2023, when the temple was reopened to the public following renovations. The old temple structure has since then been renovated and transitioned into the community hall, reserved for large-scale religious and cultural events and community gatherings.
Today, HTSM is one of the largest Hindu temples in the state. It is a slice of India that draws the attention and fascination of its American neighbors and visitors. It is the center of Mississippi's Hindu community, providing the comfort of home for local Hindus and meeting their spiritual needs. Apart from daily temple rituals, innumerable religious events serve to honor Hindu traditions and keep them thriving. Cultural events such as the Holi Mela and the Diwali Mela are open to the public and invite participation from locals and Hindus alike. Tours of the temple are offered to interested visitors and even high school and college students, often culminating in a profound learning experience and opportunity for interfaith and intercultural dialogue. Overall, HTSM seeks to be a spiritual safe haven for not just Hindus, but for all curious persons seeking to explore their spirituality. The Hindu Temple Society of Mississippi is proud to be located in a compassionate community, owing its gratitude for the support of neighboring churches and individuals. It keeps its doors open and invites one and all to celebrate unity in diversity.